All right, so we have some big news to talk about. Things are escalating quickly with the current conflict that a lot of people were worried about affecting the markets. But so far, the markets seem bullish, which is surprising. So I want to discuss what I've done, my recent moves, my current trades, but also what I'm thinking happens in the short term, mid-term, and longer terms for these markets. Of course, I've been sharing with you guys the trade that I opened here on the channel just a couple of days before this conflict really got out of hand. And right now, this trade sits in $31,000 of unrealized profit and another $13,000 of realized profit that I've taken here on this channel with you guys. So if you appreciate being kept up to date with exactly what I'm doing in this market, but also the news every single day, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button because I'm going to keep showing up every single day. And jumping straight into it, we can see right now Bitcoin has been in this pattern, right? We've broken out of the resistance on the top side here. We pushed all the way up to about $74,000 here, getting a slight rejection now, and we are coming down to retest what was resistance, potentially flipping it into support. Now, moving into this breaking news, the developments we've had over in the Middle East. Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, Qatar are discussing right now withdrawing contracts from the US and canceling future investment commitments. Now, this is all in the talks right now, but what we're seeing, considering pulling investments over this whole war situation. 3 of the 4 major Gulf economies are joining and reviewing whether to invoke the force majeure closures of these contracts, right? Now they're getting hit by Iranian missiles while their oil ships can't leave the Strait of Hormuz. Qatar has declared force majeure after the drone attack shut down the main LNG plant. Now, a major shift in refinery was struck, and we saw people talking out about this, talking out directly about who gave the authority to drag their region into the war, and Trump wanted their money, apparently, for Gaza's reconstruction and his board of peace. But that's not really what's going on right now. It's far from peace right now in this moment. So of course it's hard to speculate and say exactly what's going on with the limited information we're actually provided, but I'm hoping things do calm down very soon. And what kept me relatively, I wouldn't say bullish, but relatively calm on the fact of this really affecting the markets badly was the fact that when this all kicked off, Bitcoin started to rally. And again, everything I say on this channel is speculation. Everything I say is based on my opinion and what I see in the market. And of course, it can always be wrong. But what I was thinking was, well, okay, the markets were closed again, which is exactly what I told you guys Trump would do. Now, I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not saying I can tell the future of what Trump will do or what anyone will do. But all we can do, we watch history and its patterns, and then we apply it to the current situation. 2 weeks ago, I said to you there was tensions rising in Iran and the Middle East between the US, right, and whoever else has joined that. It will most likely kick off on the weekend. And that's exactly what happened last weekend. The markets closed, it all started to kick off, right? So I think there's a lot more thought put into these sorts of situations. But what I do want to speculate on is the markets were closed when this all erupted. And again, with Bitcoin being the only large asset class that's open on the weekend, really, for trading, the people with the money were speculating at least that things weren't going to get too bad. That's why Bitcoin's price were going up. Now, another argument could be they were actually seeing Bitcoin as a store of value. Not gold, not silver, but Bitcoin. That's another argument, and that could also be the case, but both cases bullish for Bitcoin nonetheless, at least in the short term. But remember, the base case remains unless we break the 200-day MA and we do something different to what happened back here, pushing all the way up to there, taking advantage of that move, and then a continuation downwards for really not that much more time, guys. The pain doesn't last that long in a bear market. Remember that. I'll catch you in the next video.